Recently, I played through Doom Eternal with the help of some friends, and the amount of tutorials drove us insane. The following is a completely accurate summary of the campaign. Trust me. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. The game begins with narration explaining that there's been budget cuts, and instead of sending an army to fight the forces of hell, they're just gonna send one guy and they expect it done by the end of the week. I'm not getting paid overtime for this, am I? Turns out that letting hell leak out onto Earth isn't a good thing, and now billions are dead and the world is inhabited by demons. But that's okay, because it just means I won't have to worry about collateral damage when I start shooting. I have issues with that in other games. We get a glimpse of the Justice League's watchtower, where Doom Guy is taking his sweet-ass time preparing to head out because there's definitely no reason to maybe pick up the pace a little bit. The title drops, but the music doesn't really seem synced up correctly.
It's not timed right! I don't know why that's happening.
We teleport to an average US high school and send some people to the principal's office for wandering around the halls during class time. A door opens for us and okay, pop-up tutorial. There's gonna be a lot of these and they really break the flow of gameplay. They're important, they're just everywhere in the first 2 hours. We pick up the answer to the question and get teleported to another pop-up tutorial, where we learn that our chainsaw can do chainsaw things. Cool, thanks. Jack is back just like the first game, but we decide not to punch him this time and pop-up tutorial! Yeah, I know I can turn him off, but I haven't played this game in a while and I need to know this information. Just seems like they could have presented it in a less intrusive way. We feed some people sticky bombs and punch through a door and hey, why does the green punching bit get a small unobtrusive tutorial and everything else is in your face? Am I complaining too much already? Doom Eternal is one of my favorite games, don't take this too seriously. I love this fucking game. After kicking open a door, we grab a hairless testicle by the throat, and he warns us that we can't just kill him. But we use our pay-to-win token to say fuck you and squeeze him so hard that his head pops off. We walk outside to admire the view, but the weather sucks in California this time of year because of all the hellfire. So we jump off and struggle to take down a cacodemon.
0.8%. There are 2 hell priests remaining.
Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Oh well.
Now we're taking it to the streets where we unlock full auto and stop interrupting my gameplay with tutorials. Oh my god, do they think I'm an idiot? Don't answer that. The game spoils a new enemy type with another fucking pop-up and oh look, surprise, it's that thing that literally just got spoiled to us, instead of the game having it show up naturally and letting us figure out its weak points on our own. Thanks, game. We clear out some locals and a door opens for us, so we run up to a new gun and fucking pop up. I know, you're probably really sick of me pointing out every time there's a pop-up already. I was sick of the pop-ups by this point too. And if I have to suffer, so do you. It eases up around the third mission. Come on! A door opens for us and we're cruising on down Main Street when some people start jaywalking, so we remove them from the middle of the road and get interrupted by another pop-up tutorial because we can't figure out that this clearly climbable looking wall is climbable on our own. We pick up a yellow keycard that's actually easy to spot despite my colorblindness, because they said fuck it to trying to make it realistically placed in the environment and just had it float in the air because good game design doesn't actually have to mimic real life. Fuck you, realism. After heading downstairs to eat fresh, we rip flesh and tear our way to the train cars and get another pop-up telling us how to press the grenade button and then immediately another pop-up telling us how to beat cacodemons instead of just letting us figure it out on our own. Please, game. Part of the fun of playing is figuring out what works best against specific enemies. We force a departmentally mandated 15-minute break on some office workers and a wall is open for us, so we head off to do some platforming. We answer the question on some tentacle hentai and god, even collecting secrets gives you a pop-up tutorial. We then proceed to murder a bunch of people in a parking lot who are just trying to find out where they parked their car, and then clear out a social space because they keep trying to ask us about the weather. But we're an introvert and only want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons and the new FPS games coming out and how they're a disappointment compared to the ones from the early 2010s. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You know who you are. We travel south cross land and jump into a mysterious portal, which is only okay because we're the Doom Guy. You definitely shouldn't be jumping into random portals if you don't know where they go, kids. We walk up to some comically large metal bars, but can't squeeze through them even though it's clearly more than big enough to let us through. And now another pop-up tutorial. Okay, thanks. We press the skull button and take an elevator where 2 testicles tell us that we shouldn't have been able to pass through the gate, so we give them their buddy's head back while they continue to tell us that our efforts will ultimately mean nothing. But we're just gonna keep doing those things specifically out of spite. We're the motherfucking Doom Guy. We cock our shotgun with malicious intent and scare off the testicles, so we meet the new boss, same as the old boss, that keeps telling us that we're overstepping our boundaries and can't keep doing what we're doing. Do they really think they can just convince the Doom Guy to stop? They don't even actually try to stop him. After teleporting back to the watchtower, we set a course for Stan Lee's catchphrase and unlock spicy food breath, and we're teleported to a pop-up tutorial to show us how to set people on fire. After getting back to the main room, we get a pop-up tutorial about one of the game's 4 different upgrade trees, because this game has way too many different upgrade currencies. And now we're headed to Excelsior to pick up a new piece for our teleporter so we can hunt down the other 2 testicles and cut off their heads too. We jump around to meet a new enemy type and... no pop-up tutorial telling us its weak spot this time? Cool, thanks. Seriously. We pick up the Infinity Gauntlet and get teleported to a pop-up tutorial where we learn that we can punch things harder, but only sometimes. And if you try to punch something but you can't punch it harder, it does literally nothing. That's a little weird, but alright. And now we get to number 2 of the 4 different upgrade trees. After making our way through another area, we get to number 3 of the 4 upgrade trees. We do some platforming and break these chains and learn how to dash, which we immediately have to use to do some more platforming. And now we're in King Vakban's chamber, who tells us that we can't keep doing what we're doing because, oh my god, who wrote this? Every single character in this game tells us that we can't do stuff, and we keep just doing it anyways. All of these characters end up saying the exact same fucking thing in every cutscene. We steal King Vakban's lantern and find Daisy before giving some demons an electric feel and wandering over to a pop-up tutorial, and doing a secret encounter because they're right off the main path and don't feel like a waste of time to complete. And now we get to the worst addition to this game, Purple Goo. It brings all movement to a screeching halt. No jumping, no dashing, and a lower base movement speed. And this is far from the only time they have it in. It only gets worse. We grab a power core and activate Iron Man to make a new door, and the game gives us a pop-up tutorial on how to use a weapon upgrade ability that I'd already been using. Really? We do some platforming to press some buttons and open a triple gate, and hey, here's another one of those small, unobtrusive hints on the side about enemy weak points. Why are these so inconsistent? After clearing out the area, we get a pop-up tutorial on dash refilling, because this game really wants to put a bunch of gimmicks onto its platforming to make it seem more interesting than it is. We grab a power core and cut some guts and slowly walk our way through more purple goo. Yay. We grab another power core and, do we really have to see the same pickup animation every single time we get one of these? We give a demon a stomach pump and suffer through more purple goo before getting a cutscene showing us that falling platforms fall. Totally wouldn't have figured that one out on my own. Thanks, game. We do some platforming and pick up a Slayer key to open a Slayer gate, and I struggle through the fight because I'm still not very good at this game yet. I get better at it later, I promise. We meet up with Benedict Arnold, and let me guess, he's going to tell us that we shouldn't be doing what we're doing and we're just going to ignore him.
Saving your people will not bring you peace. Only make the burden you carry worse. It is your people's time now to give penance, just as it was mine.
Later, bitch. We clear out an area and take the portal back to the watchtower to plug in the lantern and get a pop-up tutorial on Sentinel batteries, which are another unlock currency that you use to unlock unlocks. Huh? We unlock the ice bomb and get a pop-up tutorial for it, but no trial area. And then Sony Vegas explains to us literally what the pop-up just said. Why bother with both? We're forced to head down to the Ripitorium? Really? Who named that? Doomguy's dad? Where we get a pop-up tutorial explaining to us that we can practice our gameplay here. But joke's on you, game, that means it's optional and we're only going to do it once. Maybe this is why I sucked for so long. And now we get a pop-up tutorial explaining the 4th upgrade currency in this game, and
do you see my fucking arms?
What are those arms on the side?
Yeah.
Okay, Will, man. How do you do it?
Dude, I break everything I touch.
And now we're headed off to the project at Eden's Gate to eliminate Joseph Seed, and no, wait, wrong script. We make our way to the pop-up tutorial and do a meet and greet with some cultists before finding something dope. We get another pop-up tutorial spoiling another enemy type and its weakness, and surprise, it's here to fight. You can't see it, but I'm making a disappointed face. Though you probably assume that's my expression the entire time I'm doing these. We send some construction workers home for the day and fail some platforming before collecting a key and getting another enemy type and their weakness spoiled to us by a pop-up tutorial. I fail some platforming and pick up a rocket launcher that I blow myself up with because I didn't magically get better at not doing that since the first game. And now we meet my least favorite enemy type in the game, the Whiplash. Fucking snake bitches with their tiny slithery hitboxes and abrupt long-distance attacks. They're worse than vipers. They also don't have boobs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't ask. We listen to the testicles spout some religious gobbledygook, and then we dismember all of his friends and make our way inside to a congregation where we pop the heads off. Except for one. He lives so that he can spread the word. We get a glimpse of the Super Shotty before falling into a pop-up tutorial about an enemy type that I'm pretty sure shows up like 3 times in the entire game. Or if it's more than that, I really didn't notice. And now we fight through a red-tinted room, which is really hard to do for me since I'm colorblind. We do some platforming and an optional encounter before doing a slow, dumb elevator platforming puzzle before taking an elevator down to a mechanic that is used all of once in this game and then never again. We take control of a Revenant, force him to murder all of his friends and family, and then bring Doomguy the Super Shotty, which we then use to kill the Revenant so he can be with his friends and family again. We take an elevator to another platforming puzzle and fail an optional encounter a few times until I give up because I suck at it. After fighting through some tentacle hentai, we take an elevator to a staff meeting that we call to a close and then get lost in a small hallway because I'm stupid.
Oh, wait, you have the cultist key, right?
Yeah.
Then go through the door that says cultist key on it.
You're a genius.
We do some platforming and knock a statue over to create a door and get one final pop-up tutorial telling us that now we have all the tools that we need to beat this game. So it's a pop-up to tell us that we won't be getting any more pop-ups. I'm doing the disappointed face again. We're dropped down into an arena that I struggled through because I lost all my extra lives to that optional encounter from earlier and I still suck at playing this game, but I was still having a blast. This is the moment that the mama bird pushes the baby bird out of the nest to see if it can fly. In this analogy, the baby bird definitely hit the ground, but this baby bird is the motherfucking Doom guy, so it gets back up a few times and eventually starts flying. I think this analogy fell apart a little. And now we're waiting for a train that will take us far away. We know where we hope the train will take us, but we can't know for sure. What was I talking about? We make our way into the Doom Hunter facility and hey wait, I thought these were done! This spoils another enemy and its weakness. Damn it, game. We clear out Pinky in the brain and the testicle taunts us about finding a worthy opponent as if I'm not already struggling with the regular ones because I still suck at this game. And we get a glimpse of the Scooter Brothers, which we'll be seeing in a moment. And now more platforming gimmicks because the platforming wasn't already gimmicky enough. The Slayer is in the facility, so we make it to the end with absolutely no problems whatsoever.
I'm magnetized to the first one and not to the second one.
Because if you dash into the wall, then you'll magnetize to it. If you don't, then...
I guess it didn't reset then?
No, it reset. I think it's easier. Wait on the first one until your dash refills.
Despite how it seems, Will does have a basic understanding of how things work, but he also can't see green.
Yeah, I understand how games work. I'm just bad at them.
Yeah.
I'm not Aaron from Game Grumps.
Yeah.
Yet. Oh, come on. That totally would have gone into his mouth. Ow!
Yeah, I really
That's
don't
all
like
spicy
this
wall.
fight.
I had the wrong
You just
meatball.
can't get next to it. Okay.
Yeah, I can't poke it or else I just start getting burned, so... And I fell off. This part sucks!
What the? Why? Who thought that was a good idea? Or is there a way to turn it off?
There's no way to turn it off.
Excuse me?
Killed.
What? Okay, that was actually kind of badass.
That was
Yeah.
pretty badass, yeah.
I think there was one more meatball.
No, don't touch the spicy
Wait,
wall.
Look up. Look up to the right. That green thing.
Fuck it, I knew it! I knew there was another one!
Bye, sir. Have a nice day.
Gee, I wonder what this guy is and whether we'll fight him at the end of this level. If only there was some indication, like my eyeballs, that I could use to determine that factor. Wow! Gee, I wonder what this thing is gonna be called. Jesus Christ, game. Way to ruin the reveal.
The testicle name drops a Star Wars planet, and we wait patiently for the Scooter Brother to piece itself together so we can fight it fairly. And then we get another pop-up tutorial spoiling the enemy's weak points.
Gee, game, I totally couldn't have figured this out because he was glowing blue and I have so far been using the blue gun to defeat blue enemies. What the fuck is this bullshit? This is hand-holding!
We kick the Scooter Brothers' ass and fall down into an arena, and now there's two. And this is really the apex point of difficulty in this game if you haven't quite figured out all the best ways to play, because I get my ass kicked for about 15 minutes. But you know what? I applaud the testicle for being different. He built this brand new enemy just for us, and he didn't once try to tell us that we should stop doing what we're doing. He even offers to help us get stronger so that we can keep doing what we're doing. We don't take the offer and just chop off his head, but, you know, it was refreshing. The new boss shows up and taunts us that they're moving the last testicle to a secure location, so we head off to the Super Gore Nest to, I guess just destroy it. Hang on, is this Doom's version of a side mission? We don't actually progress the plot through this level, it's just pure killing enemies. It's still fun, I'm just saying. And now that that's over with, Sony Vegas suggests we might be able to get some help from Microsoft Sam, the guy who betrayed us at the end of the first game. If you say so. We check out of a hotel to beat the crowds and make our way to the R Complex, not to be confused with the R Not Complex. We avoid some purple goo as best we can and find out that some tentacles are blocking the path inside, so we head off to some giant cannons to remove them. We do some platforming and raid a crack house so we can set some junkies on fire for their armor, and board an aircraft without our tickets. So the TSA asks us nicely to leave, so we exit out the back in an orderly fashion. We take an elevator, never mind, and clear out Hell's Kitchen. Oh, we're in New York. We take an elevator into the first cannon and blow away the first tentacle, but I guess we can't just look a little bit more to the left and destroy the second one from here, so we head off to use the second turret instead. We take an elevator that was drenched in ketchup, I hope that's ketchup. And follow our way through the facility into a bunch of purple goo, because the developers that came up with this idea really wanted to prove that it was good. It's not. We take another ketchup elevator and murder Dana by setting him on fire because he was celebrating his birthday, and then take an elevator in the second turret to blow the last tentacle away. We murder some more people who were just looking for their cars and walk, emphasis on walk, across a bridge to an elevator that we take to Sam's Club. We borrow the Crucible back and find Sam dead. Wait, really? He's dead? We don't get the satisfaction of beating the shit out of him first? Dang. A games journalist's worst nightmare shows up, but not to worry. He's been nerfed and he's actually really easy to beat now. I beat him first try. Twice, actually, because I lost the original footage for this level and had to do it again. Good night, sweet prince. We return to the watchtower with Sam's corpse and toss him into the generator so he can live on forever as an AI construct in the base. The scene is really menacing and really makes me think that he was going to betray us, but he never does. At least, not in the base game. Microsoft Sam lets us know that the final testicle is hiding really, really far away, and that the only way there is through a portal deep underground, but that there's no easy way to get there, so we set off to make our own entrance. Sam tells us that we can't do what we're going to do. This again? Really? At least it's funny this time. We teleport onto a UAC spaceship and borrow someone's keycard to open a door, and a guard tells us that we can't be there, so we confiscate his gun. And this probably would have been cooler if we hadn't already had this gun for the majority of the game at this point. We casually stroll our way through the spaceship and climb a ladder into a cutscene where we walk right past some guards who don't even try to stop us because that would have been a bad idea. We borrowed the BFG 10,000, which stands for Subscribe to Willy Asso, in case you forgot from the 2016 video, and Death Star Mars and then break off its power source, the Subscribe to Willy Asso 9000. Wait, what? How does that work? We fall out of the cannon and skip past a pop-up tutorial because really, game? 4.5 hours in and you want to stop me some more? No. No. We teleport to a platforming section and take an elevator to a cannon control so we can aim it and then head off to use ourselves as the cannonball. We launch towards the arc, but BT saves us by throwing us out of the blast radius and... Wait, I already made the inverse joke of this in the Titanfall video. We create a new door with our head and make some calamari before accidentally falling our way into a side encounter and then wandering back into the correct area. After doing more platforming, we crawl through some vents to a drop pod that we use to crash onto the Halo ring, but everyone is killed when we slam into the ground because we didn't take a seat and just ping-ponged around the inside of the... Wrong script again. Microsoft Sam spouts a little exposition at us and we tell some people to go home before taking a Stargate to the Roman Colosseum, where we go through some flashbacks that I actually didn't notice had the original outfit as part of the actual scene because I was already wearing it at that point in my first playthrough. This means the 1993 outfit is canon, which is awesome. Also, Doomguy speaks. Huh. He pretty much only says exactly what you expect him to. The new boss tries once again to convince us to stop doing what we're doing without actually trying to stop us, so we ignore her and take an elevator down to another flashback where Doomguy says some more stuff, and it's still exactly what you'd expect. We meet up with the final testicle and he taunts us before teleporting away and sicking a Diet Marauder on us. This boss fight's really easy, but there's a second phase, and really? Really? Come on, son. We beat the Diet Marauder and get a fuck you token, and the testicle tells us that our actions won't have any effect on the outcome, so we shoot his head off, drop the token, refuse to elaborate, and then leave. As we arrive on the watchtower, the new boss has overloaded the systems and sent a bunch of demons after us, so now we have to fight our way through the hub area that we've grown accustomed to from all the downtime between missions and... Or it's just a small amount of fodder demons in this one area, and that's it. Oh, wasted opportunity. We restore power to the ship with the Crucible and then head off to get a replacement sword because the one we were going to use is a glorified battery now. We teleport to Naboo and another games journalist's nightmare tries to surprise us, but the joke's still on him, the nerf made him easy. After doing some platforming, we get another enemy spoiled to us through a pop-up tutorial and then have to fight said enemy. We acquire a rad suit, but I'm not really sure what's so awesome about it. We do some puzzles and push open a door to a flashback where it's revealed that we got our super strength from a mysterious hooded figure. Wink wink, nudge nudge, as if literally everyone didn't immediately figure out who it was. We do some timed puzzles and then swimming puzzles, and... This level is like 75% puzzles. We borrow the new sword, but it can't be used till we forge a new blade, so we head off to do some more platforming and more puzzles. We dip the hilt in some spicy Kool-Aid and pull out a fruit pop, and then jump down into an arena to try out our new toy, and... We divide a bunch of demons by 2 and teleport back to the watchtower, where Microsoft Sam lets us know that we're in the final stretch and won't be able to come back from here on out. So I hope you packed your lunch and a fresh pair of underwear. You might need them. We arrive at the Amazon Packaging Headquarters, a facility made specifically to suck the souls out of everyone inside in order to process them into usable energy. I immediately fall off the map. We're gonna ignore that. We lay off some employees and get a good look at the living conditions before dealing with a regional manager so we can do some platform puzzle solving. We hop into a cage and go through the tram ride from the beginning of Half-Life, where we're dropped into a boss fight arena thing. It's not exactly a boss fight, but it's a unique enemy that doesn't show up again. At least, not in the base game. After smoothing out the boss's brain, we tenderize some meat and do some more platforming so we can lay off some more employees. I don't know. It's secret's wasting time. Hello?
The secret almost fucked you.
We come to the Soul Processing Fountain. Microsoft Sam tries to get us to vote for him to be the new mayor, but I'm not even sure Doomguy is a registered voter. After eliminating the election officials, we do some platforming to an elevator so that we can do some more platforming to another elevator. We cut a manager down to size and open a portal to Urdak. I would have come up with a funnier name for this place, but Urdak is just fun to say. We catch up to the new boss, and once again, she tries to tell us that we can't do what we're going to do, so we do it anyways and let the dog out so we can go hunt it downtown. We're knocked down into a pop-up tutorial and whack some piñatas and all of the children that showed up for the birthday party. We do some platforming and break up more birthday parties until we come to some portal gates that we have to line up to take back to Earth, because the longer the Icon of Sin is on Earth, the stronger he will become. After doing a bunch of platforming and party clearing, we align the portals, but the new boss tries to stop us from taking it by giving us a pop-up tutorial, and then proceeds a super easy boss fight that involves doing some basic enemy clearing and then punching the con maker in the face 6 times. There's not even a second phase or anything. That's it. Alright. The new boss dies and splooges a yellow ball that causes a mysterious voice to get upset, but that's not important right now, so we move on. We teleport back to New York to take down the Icon of Sin before he gets too strong for being on Earth for longer, so we fight some hot dog vendors for their snacks and do some platforming to the final boss fight. The level itself is pretty fucking fun. It has some of the most diverse enemy fights in the game that are really satisfying to take down now that I've hit my stride. There's just not much plot here, so we're gonna skip past it. And now for the final boss fight. It kinda sucks. You have to blow off each part of the Icon of Sin's armor while fighting regular demons and avoiding his attacks, which makes it sound way more interesting than it is. And after you do it once, you have to do it a second time. There's not much difference in the second phase. This took almost 20 minutes. We give the Icon of Sin a major case of brain freeze and it falls away, so we do a cool guy walk away from the edge to some narration, and that's the end of the game. Game over? Special thanks to my patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel as well, you'll get your own custom avatar that'll go at the end of the videos that you helped support that month.
Why does that keep happening? It's so annoying.
You didn't punch it.